The rumored Sentinel Resonator will be arriving soon. Yup, she's AEMEATH, or I usually call her Amy. How far have you prepared for her? Do you have enough extra to pull for Amy? It is actually taking more than just the extra to bring her home. It's about other preparation that includes her eco sets, weapon, as well as her team compositions or character synergies, so that you don't pull her for nothing. But in this video, I'll be talking and discussing about what to prepare for her just before her bundle is released, and hoping that this content will bring benefits and actually help future AEMEATH mains that watch this video. Before we begin, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. Now if you have done that, let's get started. Amy is a 5-star limited fusion character that uses sword as her weapon. She is a main damage dealer that will have two playstyles, Toon Rupture or Fusion Burst. This leads to a different and more variety of team comp as well. Her damage is mostly considered as Resonance Liberation damage, can respond to Toon Rupture, and has the ability to give decent damage amp to her team, excluding herself. She is also the type of character that can switch freely between her human form or the mech form. I'm going to give a brief overview of her kit before we start doing some preparation of her, and let's start with her basic attack. Both of her human and mech form has 4 stages of basic attacks. As for their heavy attack, this can be enhanced further to deal liberation damage. Amy can freely switch her form when using her resonance skill. When she swaps with the mech, this robot will inherit all of Amy's stats. They both have the ability to do a sync attack once you cast Amy's second basic attack up until 4, then followed by using resonance skill. This way, they will launch like a joint attack and will end up switching to her mech forms. Doing this while in mech form will be the same, but you will be switched back to Amy instead. Amy has 2 forte bars, let's just call them basic and the second forte. The first one is going to be the basic forte, which has 200 points. You can fill this by simply using her basic attacks, or the sync attack from the resonance skill. Using intro skill will also give her 40 points, while activating her liberation give 30 points. If your basic forte is not less than 100, performing Amy or her mech's basic attack 4 will let them enter special state that lasts for 5 seconds. This way, her resonance skill is enhanced, and when it's used, Amy will perform an attack that is considered liberation damage, and ultimately switch to her mech form. Using this ability while in the mech form is the same, and will switch back to Amy. As for her second forte, Amy will have 4 bars. In order to fill this, she needs to cast her enhanced resonance skill, where for each use will grant her 1 stack. Cast her resonance liberation and then another point will be achieved if Amy uses her ultimate after the intro skill is performed. Amy have 2 kind of playstyles or mode. They are Rupture and Fusion Burst mode. In Resonance mode Toon Rupture, when the resonators in the team responds to Toon Rupture interfered, she will inflict enemies with Rupture debuff. The more character within the team that can respond to Rupture interfered, the more Rupture debuff that Amy can inflict. This debuff can be activated by using her enhanced resonance skill to let her deal Rupture damage. As for the Resonance mode Fusion Burst, when the resonator in the team inflicts Fusion Burst, Amy will then also inflict Fusion debuff to enemy with the same amount of max stacks and durations. But if there is an enemy with 0 stack of Fusion Burst, she will inflict 1 stack. But if there are more than 5 already, she will force trigger the Fusion Burst based on the max stacks and remove all of them. With her team member that can inflict any of those 2 debuffs, Amy will gain an increase in crit damage with a maximum of 60% thanks to one of her talents. There is another thing you need to know about Amy's ability. When in this resonance mode, Amy will inflict Rupture Shifting or Fusion Burst if she casts BA stage 3 and 4, her sync attack from resonance skill as well as her intro. Amy has technically 3 liberation. When she casts this ability, she will deal fusion damage to enemies while switching to her mech form. Casting this enables her to enter her second liberation state for 1 minute, while also enter Stardust Resonance for 15 seconds. This state let her enhance skill to gain some buffs depending on which mode she is currently in. Now that you are in her second liberation state and also has the second forte full, Amy can gain enhancement for her heavy attack. The enhanced heavy attack will gain a 200% damage amplification thanks to her first talent, and this will not only deal damage, but it can fully restore her basic forte. Now that you have second liberation state is still active, and both of the forte are full, you can then unleash her third liberation, which is the final blow that has an amazing animation. Her intro will grant her some buffs that allow her to immediately gain 2 stack of her second forte. This way, casting third liberation will become easier. Amy's outro can also give 10% damage amp to the whole team, with additional 20% damage amp to the members that can inflict Rupture Shift or Fusion Burst. When it comes to Amy's eco set, the best one should be the new Trailblazing Star. Unfortunately, you can only farm this once the new update starts, and it's a 5 pieces eco, so you could spend your wave plate. The 2-piece give 10% fusion damage bonus, while the 5 pieces will give the wearer a 20% crit rate as well as another 20% fusion damage bonus if they can inflict fusion burst or Toon Rapture Shift. Also, another new set might work for her, it's the Chromatic Foam. Aside from the 2 pieces that can give her 20% fusion damage bonus, the 5 pieces will give another 10% of that to the wearer and then give the next incoming Resonator a 25% fusion damage bonus if the wearer of this echo can inflict a fusion burst. This is definitely the best in-slot set for upcoming new character that can consistently inflict fusion bursts, and they will most likely be the last missing piece of puzzle for Amy's fusion burst team comp. But even though this is not Amy's best option for the echo, I think it may still work in mono-fusion teams, since all of the members deal significant amount of damage. And this effect won't disappear if you keep switching to other resonators, so that you could still perform a quick swap playstyle. And the other echo set options that you could use while still grinding for Trailblazing Star is the Molten Reef, of course. 2 pieces can give 10% fusion damage bonus, and wearers will gain another 30% after they use Resonance skill for 15 seconds. This can act as Amy's temporary echo option. When you build her, make sure to use the Silgilium as the main active echo. The description literally says that this is the best for Amy, as when she equips this, she will gain 25% liberation damage bonus. And this one is a summon type of echo, so you don't need to transform and it won't disrupt your rotations. This is a 4-cost echo, so you will need either crit rate or crit damage depending on your weapon. If you are using her signature weapon which has a crit rate as its main stat, then you should balance it by using crit damage on her cost 4. And for the crit damage weapon, you could do the other way around. As for the cost 3, you could give her both fusion damage bonus or fusion with attack, and both of her cost 1 must be using attacks. Now we are going to talk about her weapon preparation. Honestly, the best 5-star for her is none other than her own signature. It has a base attack of 588 and a crit rate of 24.3%. The user will get all attribute damage bonus by 12%, and then when the user of this sword inflicts Toon Rapture Shift or Fusion Burst, the wielder's liberation will ignore 32% of the enemy's defense as well as their fusion resistance by 10% for 8 seconds. This weapon is actually a perfect fit for Amy, but if you have decided that you don't want to pull for her signature, it's technically okay, since she has other 5-star alternatives that could also work. The Emerald of Genesis, which you can obtain in the old standard banner, it has a nice crit rate of 24%, and Amy can still gain the benefit from this, since she appreciates an attack boost that she will get after using her Resonance skill. Other 5-star options are technically work for her, but as a stat stick only. So if you want to maximize her potential, I suggest you to use either her sign or the standard one. But we also have a 4-star weapon that actually fits her. It's the Feather Edge, which you can obtain through Battle Pass. It also has a nice crit rate stats, and the passive will definitely work for Amy because it increases her liberation damage. But yeah, this one is not really an off-TP option. Overall, there is not much alternative weapon option for Amy, so I guess it is recommended to pull for her signature weapon, since you already guaranteed anyways. Since Amy has 2 playstyles, Toon Rapture or Fusion Burst, this opens up more possibilities to her team comp. You can either play her with Lene and Morny, since both of these units can respond to Toon Rapture, and hence will let Amy to deal more Toon Rapture damage, as well as to gain that 60% crit damage buffs from one of her passive. With Lene and Morny, I could say the Rapture team is completed already. With Lene that can give tons of buff and liberation amplification, Amy's damage will hit enemies like a truck. Same goes for Morny. Outro can give general damage amplification, a 40% damage boost if there are any Toon Interview available, and let Amy frequently trigger Toon Break skill. As for the Fusion Burst team, Chisa is going to be her great sustain / support, because Chisa not only gives defense strats to enemies and granting Amy's damage a defense ignore, but her outro is responsible to increase the max capacity of Fusion Burst, which leading to a damage increase for Amy. But I think this FB team is not yet complete, since Amy needs someone in the team that can apply Fusion Burst consistently to make one of her passive reach optimum level. So in the meantime, using Lene as the second slot looks like the safest option. Since Amy is a fusion character, I guess there is a chance for you to form a mono fusion team. It's going to be with Lupa or Changli as your second slot. With Lupa, she will grant tons of fusion damage bonus, attack, as well as enemies fusion rest ignore to Amy. If you are using Changli, her outro can give the next incoming Resonator a 20% fusion damage amp, as well as 20% liberation damage amp, which is something that Amy heavily needed. And then as a third slot, you can either use Morny or Brand. So Amy has a lot of teams, and you guys as the player can choose which team she is going to end up with. But as far as I can see, Lene is still the core of Amy's team. Alright, so I guess that's all the preparation needed for Amy, including her overall kit, echo set, weapons, and also team preparations. I hope this video helps for future AEMEATH mains out there. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notification as well so you won't miss out on any of my Wuthering Waves content in the future. I will see you guys on my next one. Bye bye!